Welcome to MUO.com. I'm Matt Hall, and in today's video, we're going to be checking out this office chair from Flexispot. This is the OC10 Soutien office chair, and in French, Soutien means support. So today, we're going to be seeing if this office chair can support its $259 price tag. Ready? Let's go. Welcome back, Matt Hall, MUO.com, and today we're talking chairs, specifically office chairs, and more specifically, this office chair. This is the OC10 Soutien office chair from Flexispot. It's a brand new chair from Flexispot that offers several unique features, including 3D lumbar support that is adjustable, an adjustable headrest, an ergonomic design, breathable mesh backing, and silent 360-degree casters. So who is this chair for? In my opinion, this chair is for pretty much the business crowd. Now, what's good about the OC10 office chair? Well, first of all, I really like the design. I think it's a very handsome unit. It's not something that I would call sleek or something that I would call sexy. It's something I would call all business. But that means it's going to be right at home in your home office. It's going to be right at home in like a boardroom or a corporate setting. I think it doesn't scream expensive, but also doesn't scream cheap. I like the ergonomics of this chair. Now, ergonomic chairs are really good for people who are looking for a little bit of extra lumbar support or who sit for long periods of time. They're especially good for folks like me. Now, I spent 18 years in the automotive industry, and all that kneeling and bending and twisting and just generally treating my body like an amusement park has left me with a pretty bad case of sciatica. I'm also a writer, so I spend a lot of time on my butt in a chair. For me, I need a chair that's going to keep me from feeling like the Tin Man when I stand up at the end of the day. The ergonomic aspects of this chair I find to be really comfortable, and I'm able to sit in my seat for 6 to 7 hours without experiencing any pain. I do get a little bit of hip pain after about the 7-hour mark, but that may not be the chair's fault. That may just be because I'm getting old and because I've abused my body over the years. But that also brings me to comfort. Now, is the OC10 comfortable? I think it's decently comfortable. This is a subjective thing. Obviously, what I find comfortable, you may not find comfortable, and what you find comfortable, I may not find comfortable. But for me, I can spend a decent amount of time in my seat without having to worry about being in pain. One of the things that I really like is the fact that this chair goes so low to the ground. Now, I'm a short guy. I'm only 5'4" on a good day, and I find that most office chairs aren't suited for me. So what I've done in the past is I've just purchased a footrest that I can put underneath my desk to rest my feet on and sort of bridge that gap between the chair or between my legs and between the floor. That way my legs aren't dangling. I find that's the most comfortable option for most normal chairs. With the OC10, I don't have to worry about that. I can put my feet flat on the floor, and even if I lean the chair all the way back, my feet still stay flat on the floor. This is one of the things I really like about this office chair. I don't often find a chair that will fit me in this manner or will suit my short stature in this manner. And so if you're a little bit on the shorter side, I think that this is certainly a chair you should look into. Also, the backrest and the headrest are adjustable. So if you are taller than me, which most people are, you can adjust this chair to your liking. I also like the seat. Now, it's not too soft, but also it's not too hard. It's sort of that perfect Goldilocks for me. It's nice kind of in the middle. I weigh about 175 pounds, and I find that even sitting in this chair for 6 or 7 hours, like we were talking about, I'm fully supported throughout the day. The cushion doesn't sink in, it doesn't bow, anything like that. I should also mention that this chair is rated for 299.2 pounds. That is about 135 kilograms. And the seat is also adjustable, so you can move it forward or backward just to suit your individual preference. Now for me, I keep the seat pushed all the way back. That seems to be the most comfortable. Now the armrests are sort of good and bad on this chair. They are adjustable. They have a 4-position adjustment. You can move them forward or backward. You can make them wider. You can make them narrower. They have a 45-degree inward and outward angle, and you can raise and lower them. Despite all this movement, the armrests are still probably my least favorite part of this chair. I'm going to explain that in just a moment, but first let's talk about the wheels. Now, the casters on this unit are 2¼ inches, which means they're about 57.17 millimeters. They are a fully 360 rotating caster, and they are considered a silent caster. Now, I have hardwood floors in my house, and I found that rolling this chair around, it does have a little bit of echo and reverberation. That's mainly from the hardwood. I don't have any carpet in my home because I have dogs, and they tend to mess it up in one way or another. And so I imagine that if you take this chair and you put it on carpet, it would be pretty silent, but I wasn't able to test whether or not the wheels were actually silent in a carpeted environment. My guess is they're probably going to be pretty silent though. Now, the build quality on this chair is pretty decent. I wouldn't call it exceptional, but it is something that does seem to be pretty decent. The majority of the components on the chair are high-density plastic, and that means that the frame is plastic, the wheel carrier is plastic, even the knobs and the armrests are plastic. About the only things that are not plastic on this chair is the strut system that is used to support the chair and the control box for the knobs that adjust the tilt. Flexispot offers a 12-month warranty on this particular unit, and warranties in the chair industry are a little strange. They're a little strange in the furniture industry in general. So I find that with warranties, the longer the warranty, usually the higher quality of the product. And the reason being is because a company doesn't want to have warranty claims. And so if they give you a 2 or 3 or 4 year warranty, that usually indicates that the piece of furniture that you're buying is going to last at least that long before it starts to break down. Flexispot gives you that 12-month warranty, so I'm not real sure what the quality of this chair is going to be or how long it's going to last based on that. If you take another example, like a Herman Miller Aeron or a Steelcase Leap chair, those have a 12-year warranty, not a 12-month, a 12-year warranty against any kind of manufacturer defects and breakdown and things like that. Of course, we're talking about chairs that are 4 to 5 times the cost of the OC10, but still, you kind of get what you pay for when it comes to office chairs. Now, if you're looking for an investment piece, if you're looking for something that's going to be with you in your home office for the next 10 or 15 years, I would suggest maybe saving up a little bit more money, skipping this guy, and maybe going for something that is a little bit more high-end with a little bit better of a warranty. So what's not to love? Well, I told you the armrests are my least favorite part of this chair. And the reason being is I just feel that they have this sort of cheap quality to them. They're very wobbly, they're not very supportive, the foam in them isn't very comfortable. It feels as though somebody took a $60 Amazon chair, took the arms off of that, and just slapped them onto this. They also don't stay in place very well. When I adjust the narrowness or the width, if I push them in to be a little bit more narrow, when I put my elbow down, a lot of times that narrowness will slip and the chair arm will slide back out to the widest position. For $260 on this, I would think that those armrests would be a little bit higher quality. Now, that's not even the most annoying part of these armrests or my least favorite part. My least favorite part is the left side armrest on this model and the right side armrest on this model have about a 1/4 inch of height difference. The left side is 1/4 inch higher than the right side. At first I thought this may have been my fault. Maybe I put something together wrong, something of that nature. So what I did was I removed the arms off of the chair. I made sure that I reattached them using the correct bolt torque and the correct bolt pattern, and everything was lined up properly, just so there was no user error in this situation. Now, I found that even after removing the arms and putting them back on, I still had a 1/4 inch of variance between the right side and the left side arm. This is kind of problematic for me. To have that bit of variance in a chair that's supposed to be ergonomically correct doesn't bode well for Flexispot. Additionally, adjusting the lumbar support on this unit was difficult. I first tried to do this while I wasn't sitting down, and the way that this lumbar support operates is it has a 3 detent system. So initially you have 1 detent at the bottom, you lift the lumbar support pad up to the 2nd detent, and then you lift it up further to the 3rd detent, and each has a different height. The way you put the pad down is you'll raise it all the way to the top, and that disengages the detents, and then you're able to press the lumbar pad all the way down. The problem that I kept running into was every time I tried to lift the pad up to the 2nd detent, it would skip that 2nd detent and wind up at the 3rd, which is a little bit too high for my comfort. So I'd try to push it back down, but unfortunately because that 3rd detent is the absolute top, save for when you're moving it back down, I would have to take the pad, move it all the way back up, all the way back down, and then try and find that 2nd detent. I tried this about 25, 30 times, and I couldn't get it until I sat in the chair. Once I sat down, I was able to move that lumbar support pad to that 2nd position. Despite this, I still didn't find the Goldilocks position for the 3D lumbar support pad. Now, that may not be a problem with the chair. That may be a problem with my body. As I'm saying, I'm only 5'4", I'm not a tall guy, and so most normal office equipment isn't built with me in mind. But if you have a similar stature to mine, if you are a similar height to mine, then I think that you may want to either test this chair out before you buy it, or you may want to maybe look at another chair. For me, I still have trouble with the lumbar support. It's not something that I appreciate. It's not something that I like. I find that I tend to push myself forward and perch on the edge of the chair more because that lumbar support isn't super comfortable. But again, this may be specific to my body type as opposed to your body type. So should you buy the Flexispot Soutien OC10 office chair? It's a mouthful. I think if you really like the aesthetics of the chair, if you look at it and you fall in love with the way that it looks, then sure, it could be definitely worth the $260 price tag. For me though, I think it's a little bit overpriced. I think that the quality control issues and the armrest issues are something that kind of puts a bad taste in my mouth for this specific unit and for Flexispot as a furniture manufacturer in general. Now, I was able to go on Amazon.com and take a look around, and I found some chairs with really, really similar features for about $60, $70 less money, and some of them even had longer warranties. So that's something to take into consideration if you're thinking about plunking down, $260 for this chair. There are other options out there, and those other options may suit you better. They may be a little bit more budget friendly for you. I think that if this chair, if you look at it and you say, this is the chair for me, this is the one that I really like, then you will be very happy if you spend the money on it. You're not missing out on anything by buying it. It's not a bad office chair. I don't want to make it sound like this is a bad office chair. It's not. I don't think it's worth $260. I think if Flexispot decided to lower the price by about $50, maybe we'd be more in the ballpark. But as it stands now at $260, I would pass if somebody said this is the chair that you should buy. I would like to thank Flexispot for sending this chair out for review and for their generosity in doing so. And if you would like to read our full review of the Soutien OC10 office chair, visit us at muo.com. Now, if you found this review helpful at all today, then leave us a like or drop us a comment, and please consider subscribing. On behalf of muo.com, I'm Matt Hall. I appreciate you watching today, and we will see you in the next one.